Hey folks, what's going on? One of your classmates asked a question about the logical operators that are listed on page 123, and I apologize for not going into greater detail on that. You'll certainly need to understand how these work when you get into your higher level languages. So let's take a look at that. Of course, the logical operators are or and not. So the or and the and are pretty easy to understand. It's either this or that, or it's this and that. So let's take a look at this. And now I've used some C++ code to demonstrate this initially. So we will create a variable called count var, and we'll set that to a value of 10. So in this first line, we do an if statement, which does a if a certain condition is true, then execute this code. So we're going to look at the value of count var and compare that to 0, and if that value is greater than 0, and then we're going to do a second comparison and say, okay, if that value in the variable count var is less than 10, and then we're going to make that an and. So if this condition is true and this condition is true, then do this. So of course the value of 10 is indeed greater than 0 and less than 20, so it's going to print out to the screen between 0 and 20. Likewise, if we did a comparison of if count var is equal to 10, now notice the difference between this symbol and this symbol. This symbol is setting this variable to this value. This symbol is simply checking or comparing the value contained within this variable to this value. So the saying is if count var is equal to 10, and then this is comparing count var equal to 20. So we know that count var is already equal to 10. And this symbol in C++ and a few other languages is the symbol for or. So this is saying if this is true or this is true, then execute this. And so of course we will print out equal to 10 or 20. All right, so that's the and the or. All right, so let's take a look at the not. This is a little different. So not is effectively the same as equal to 0. And again, this is a comparison equal to. So in this code we set not var is equal to 5. So in this first line we say if not var. So effectively that's the same as saying if not var is equal to 0. So of course we know that not var is equal to 5, so that would be false. So effectively, both of these are going to produce a true or a false, which would result in going into the then statement and so on and so forth. So if we set that not var equal to 0, and then we use the if not var statement, then that would result in a true because we already know that not var is set to 0. So that's in C++. So let's see how that might be used in our pseudocode. So I've got two declarations here. We have the first variable as an integer, second variable as integer. Of course, I could have let's put that on 2 lines. And I've seen a lot of you guys do that. So this is effectively the same statement. So I'm declaring two variables as var, and then the next 2 lines I will set these variables to specific values. First variable will equal 1. Second variable will equal 2. So in this first statement we will say if first variable is equal to 1, second variable equal to 2. And of course this statement is an and statement. If both of those are true, then write and execute first task. So we know that first variable equals 1 and second variable equals 2. So of course that is going to execute, and then the else is not going to execute. So if we look to the second part, of course these still have the same values. If first variable not equal to 1 or second variable not equal to 2, then execute second task or execute first task. So of course, since this variable is 1 and this variable is 2, then that's going to produce a false, so it's going to go to the else statement rather than the then statement. So it's going to print out execute first task again. So if you look at page, let me see if I can find that, 120 in your text, those are the relational operators that we'll be using in our code, and that last one is the not equal to, and that's effectively using that not logical operator. So I hope that clears that up. If not, please let me know, and I'll do what I can to make that a little more clear. All right, thanks a lot.